Just like clockwork, the sun, moon, and stars move above the stationary and level Earth. I've created a lot of content to document that activity here. I've been able to confirm the accuracy of the projections at this location. Seeing is believing. What do we see and what do we believe about it? So this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth, and I want to go ahead and explain a few things that I'm working on my channel. I've liked a lot of videos. There's over 4,900 videos on my liked videos playlist, which is publicly viewable, and there's tens of millions of occurrences of those playlists out there. And the reason why I believe that's important is because sometimes channels are taken down. I talked to a gentleman this morning, early this morning, and all of his playlists were wiped out by YouTube. They didn't take his channel down, they just wiped out all of his playlists. And when I just so happened to send him my playlist, he was extremely grateful to get that. We talked for a good amount of time this morning about that and about the censorship. He was extremely encouraging about the effort that I put forward to do what I'm doing. And I appreciate the encouragement on that. I'm exposing the situation that we live in, the reality of the world we live in, as best I can tell. If you'd like to hashtag my name, it'll keep it in the #1 search result in the world for Robert Forsch. You can call me anytime. The 1 is the country code, in case you were wondering why I would put the 1 there. We live in a computer programmed reality. A lot of things are not as they seem. And what's unfortunate in the nature of this deception is that people get really upset when somebody exposes the reality that they are deceived, that they have been deceived. And what I do with that is simply acknowledge that, yeah, I was deceived too. I just wanted to know the truth more than anything else. So the tide is going out right now, and the water continually seeks level all over the face of the stationary and level Earth. Keep in mind there would be no level anywhere on a spinning, wobbling water ball hurling through space at combined speeds of over 1,000,000 miles an hour. Just the rotation, the supposed rotation in an easterly direction can't be felt, can't be proven, has never been proven. So no matter how many digits you or a friend of yours, maybe a scientist, no matter how many letters around their name or digits in their bank account or what kind of celebrity and propaganda media promotion they have behind them, if they believe they live on a spinning water ball, the globe, hurling through space, I know they're deceived about that. One of the questions I have for anybody, and everybody actually, is it true? Whatever it is that you believe or want to know about. So there's powerful documentaries on my YouTube channel. The name is Truth. I could get a URL if I added something to it. There's been a lot added to the truth over the years. So there's not my truth and your truth and somebody else's truth. There's the truth, and then how each of us perceive that to be. What does that look like? What is it actually? What is the reality of the situation? So what is going to happen here is when the sun appears, The birds are going to go flying and make big shadows on the sand right in front of me. In front of you too, to see this. It should be spectacular. I've captured a lot of content at this location. I'll pan around and show you what it looks like here. This is the point in Cherry Grove, South Carolina. The pylons that I zoomed in on over there a few miles away would be indicating the Intracoastal Waterway at the north end of South Carolina in the United States. The land is observably very low, not much terrain here. On the other side of the shrimp boat is the Myrtle Beach skyline. Because of tidal activity, it will be very hard to see any of that now. We might see some lights. Looks like a building there might have already been picking up some sunlight. So, people believe a lot of things. Is it true? Whatever it is. Quite often the comment that I'll put when I share somebody's video, I put a like on it, and then on quite a few of those occurrences I'll say shared millions of times through my liked videos playlist. That's the Intracoastal Waterway right there, where that shrimp boat is. And there we've got a sailboat that was scuttled. It's been here for a couple years now. We've got real science, which is the demonstration of buoyancy, the differences in density and mass. A bird can overcome the tendency of heavier things to fall through the media, whether it's air and a combination of other elements, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, whatever the composition of the air, the atmosphere is here. And then they'll float on the water, fly around a little bit. So they're displaying aerodynamics. If we have any dog walking and tennis ball throwing, that'll be an example of centrifugal force throwing the water and sand off of the tennis ball. Easily observed and repeated. I've got powerful documentaries on my channel to expose the lies of the aeronautics, the space programs of the world, with NASA leading the charge on that. Tax dollars of the United States and then a depreciated world reserve currency caused by the inflation of over circulation of purchasing power. The artificial intelligence regulates the flow of currency, of purchasing power. The world reserve currency currently is the United States. I'm going to move on over here a little bit to sight in where I believe the sun will appear in relationship to the little bird island there. That should be pretty interesting. That looks about right. Artificial intelligence has administrative control of the entire internet, the cloud, the creation and distribution of electricity. or the lack of it. And then one of the other things is that AI also has a major part in regulating public opinion by algorithms of distributed information through the internet, through social media, through videos, through new quote-unquote news releases. Quite often people are basing their opinion on what they believe to be true. By irony and paradox, we believe our beliefs are true. I know that I've been deceived and I have believed lies. The Santa lies would be one of the big ones that I remember as a child. The year I found out that Santa was a lie, the whole Santa flying reindeer, delivering presents. I know some will say, yeah, there was a historic character and he loved Jesus. Well, believe whatever you want. Saturnalia, Satan Claus. There's so much with the world holidays that have been paganized. So there's a lot with all this going on. We've got people that are very legalistic, thinking that they may be able to earn their salvation. That's not possible. All of God's children will absolutely be born of His Spirit. That's for sure, and that is forever. I thought I was born again in '82 until I actually was in 2014. On Reformation Day, interestingly enough. A high satanic holiday that's shrouded in a lot of secrecy, child and human sacrifice, and candy distribution, and pretending to be somebody that we're not. People do that at all different levels. Young children largely believe what they're told. There's the sun right there, burning through. So where the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon, and their duration of visibility between one another indicates that it is in fact the sun and the moon and stars that move above the stationary and level earth. So I typically won't debate people like on a long one-to-one conversation. I'll say, you know, I know for sure we're not on a globe. I've compiled evidence you can look at if you want to. It's on my channel. It's not just videos that I've captured, it's beautiful time-lapse videography from all over the world. You can look at it if you want. I invite my friends to like pages of those talented producers, showing the northern lights, weather patterns, the texture of the earth. It's not actually flat. We've got mountains over 5.5 miles tall. However, the earth is not moving. The wind moves. We can't see it. The Holy Spirit of God moves. You can see what He does. He's all-powerful and all-knowing. I've known Him as Jesus Christ most of my life. You may recognize Him as Yeshua, Yahweh, the living Word, the living water, the great I Am, the bread of life. Many names and titles. People argue about a lot of theological and cosmological and political and sociological issues. I pretty typically don't. I'll say I would encourage everybody to seek the truth with all your heart, and I believe it's going to require divine intervention to ultimately know the most important truth, to actually be born of God's Spirit. the God who spoke this world into existence, gave me new life. For gosh sakes, I didn't want to live anymore. A little more than 5.5 years ago. And then he gave me his Holy Spirit, a love for the truth, a passion, purpose, an eternal perspective, and the power to do what I previously couldn't do, and the pleasure to enjoy it all, even though it's very unpopular. The truth is not based on popular opinion. It's not popular, and, well, it's not an opinion. It's just the truth and the reality of the situation. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 says they refused to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. Wow. So God is going to help people believe the lie they apparently want to believe. So I'm not responsible for the results. I'm responsible for my obedience to do what I'm created to do. And I'll just keep on doing it. So the surface of undisturbed, unmanipulated water is flat and level. Keep in mind there would be no level anywhere if we were rotating 1,038 miles an hour at the equator in an easterly direction, tilt on an axis with people hanging on for dear life all over the world. No, it's not what's happening. There's up and down, not upside down in relationship to one another. And I talk about this in detail. One of the bigger issues is, rather than trying to convince people with a made-up mind on different issues like that, what I'm wanting to do is have people take a look at my liked videos playlist and see how many of those liked videos you actually like. You may have liked them and your list may have been taken down. I got a note when I did a video premiere. I got my liked videos playlist went from public to private. That meant that tens of millions of occurrences of destinations were removed. They were disconnected. And I looked into it and found out that YouTube/Google, the artificial intelligence that's ruling the world under the sovereign permission and control of God, the AI said that after December the 5th of 2019, liked videos playlists would no longer be publicly visible. Well, I was a little put off. And what I did is I went and took me a little while and changed it back to public. Changed the liked videos playlist from the status of private to public, thereby reconnecting all of them. And Facebook did a similar activity about a week and a half or so before that. How many days and hours and minutes exactly, I don't know. I've got over 2,843 photos on my liked videos or my eternalperspectivebible.com playlist. And I went to share the link and it was broken, didn't work. In that playlist, there's tens of millions of my liked videos playlist merged in that, in the commenting and all of that, and in the description of some. And I asked God if He would want to reestablish that and reconnect that, I'd appreciate it. And He did, or the system was reconnected. How long that'll last, I don't know. I had been saying for a while, even when this physical me is no longer functional, when I die, whoa, zoomed in a little too much. When I die, that my digital presence will continue. Well, they might not care if I Love Lucy and Andy Griffith and Leave It to Beaver are up there, but they might want to take down the Truth Channel, and the Robert Forsch social media truth-telling that I've been up to. That's why I hashtag my name and put it out there. Over 40 million people have heard me say, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? No, I'm rock solid. I am. I'm on the solid rock of Christ. I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. I also said we don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. All of our interaction with water indicates the impossibility of the globe. From the liquid in your mug, your glass, your cup, that'll just sit there, to the liquid in a carpenter level sat on a window ledge. You can sit there and watch the sun, moon, and stars move, and the bubble level will stay right there. Center it, it'll stay perfectly still, providing you're not having an earthquake or something. Then the other thing that I said was, they're lying and I ain't buying. Who's they? Well, Satan is the author of deception, and all of those that he's effectively deceived are in on it, whether they know it or not. As a homeschooling dad that worked at a full-time ministry, Christ the Rock Community Church in Appleton, Wisconsin, I was a men's group leader and a character development class leader. It's mega church. I helped build the sanctuary, over an $11 million structure, and I also worked at Rawhide Boys Ranch in New London, Wisconsin. Those aren't bragging rights per se. I just want you to be able to know that I'm the guy that you'll see in those photos. If you look, you can run a background check on me. That's why I put my name out there. I've got my phone number there. You can call me if you want. I know how to block people if I need to. I do get a few prank calls, but that's rare. In this world of truth-telling, it's very, you want to clear a room? Start telling the truth. You want to lose friends? Get unfriended, blocked, uninvited from social activities? Just start telling the truth about things that really matter. It happened to me. Oh well, I'm good with it. I would rather tell the truth and have people not appreciate that than be a deceiver. I was providing false advertisement for my proclamation that Jesus is Lord. He was somebody else's Lord. He wasn't mine. I was living a life in my own strength, trying to please myself and trying to do this life on my own effort. And I didn't realize that's all that I had until there was more, a lot more. God is all powerful. He spoke this world into existence. So I'm not afraid of any would-be troublemaker that comes my way. Can go ahead and look at some of the videos that I liked and added. Denzel Washington meting out some retribution. Yeah, you might find that interesting. I know I did. Target-focused training is real. Somebody that's a would-be attacker can get a whole big surprise if the person they're attacking is going to take them out. And some of the programming packages that we've received they were in vitro. Before we were even born, our mother watching scary movies or having just a tranquil, beautiful pregnancy or a brutal assault or human trafficking. All of those human trafficking and human tragedies are going on all around us. And you may think, what can I do about it? Well, what I'm doing is telling the truth about it. All of it. I'm not hiding and I'm not afraid. That should send chills down anybody's spine that is looking into this, that isn't born again. To know what I know and what I've seen is truly amazing, to be free from fear. So I'm going to walk a little bit over and put the shrimp boat in the light beam if I can. The video is going to end before I get there. So I wanted to say thank you so much for your public and private encouragement. Feel free to call me anytime if you like. I believe God's grace is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. Please explore my content and my channel and create playlists that you can save. You can scroll through the videos and record it on a device if you want to. Anything digital, even the recording you put on a cell phone, can be wiped out by the AI. You might want to write down important numbers and get your